Let me tell you something, Pack Nation.
Romeo Doubs, gone. New England Patriots, 4 years, $68 million. Dontayvion Wicks, gone. Philadelphia Eagles, a 2026 fifth-round pick and a 2027 sixth-rounder. 2 receivers, 1 offseason, both out the door. And I know what is happening right now. The group chats are going crazy. Sal, what is Gutekunst doing to the receiver room? Sal, who is going to catch the ball? Sal, is this a problem? No, this is not a problem. This is a statement. And the name on that statement, written in bold at the top, is Matthew Golden. Stay with me here. Think about what the 2025 Green Bay receiving corps actually was. Doubs, Wicks, Jaden Reed, Christian Watson, Golden, Savion Williams, Sky Moore coming in off the street. That is 7 wide receivers, Pack Nation. 7. All of them reaching for the same pile of targets every Sunday. And you know who gets buried in that situation? You know who gets starved? The 21-year-old who is the first-round wide receiver this organization has touched since Javon Walker in 2002. That is 23 years, Pack Nation. This franchise went 23 years, Favre era, Rodgers era, the whole thing, without investing a first-round pick in a wide receiver. And when Gutekunst finally does it, what does the kid walk into? A room so loaded, he could barely find a spot on the wall. I want to give you a picture, a real, honest picture. You walk into any garage in this part of the country, and I guarantee you what you are going to find. Somebody bought a brand new chainsaw, top of the line, razor chain, perfect balance, not a scratch on it, and they hung it on the wall. Beautiful piece of equipment, serious investment. And what is around it? Around it is a socket set with 6 sockets missing, an extension cord with the ground prong snapped off, a hand truck where the wheel pulls sideways every time, a caulk gun that nobody has successfully loaded in 9 years. And what does everybody do when they walk into that garage? They reach past the new chainsaw every single time because the busted stuff is familiar, because comfortable beats smart almost every Sunday of the year. That was Matthew Golden in 2025, the chainsaw on the wall. And last month, Brian Gutekunst walked into that garage and cleaned it out. Romeo Doubs found 68 million reasons to take his talents to Foxborough. Dontayvion Wicks found the 5th-round pick worth of reasons to go figure things out in Philadelphia. And now, Pack Nation, that wall has exactly one thing hanging on it that matters. Now look, I will be completely honest with you. 6 a.m, the Doubs deal hits my phone. 4 years, $68 million. I said something out loud that I am not going to repeat on this program. I was in the kitchen. Nobody was there. I was talking to the coffee maker because I panicked. This is a documented fact about me. I panicked when they did not draft a receiver high. For 10 straight years, I panicked when they finally did, and I panicked when Doubs left. Darlene can confirm all of it. But I sat down, I made the coffee, and I thought about what I actually saw with my own eyes in January. Wild card game, Chicago, 4th quarter, short pass to the right flat. Matthew Golden catches it. And Pack Nation, are you seeing this play right now? He makes 5 defenders miss. 5 NFL defensive backs, all of them with film sessions and coordinators and 20 pages of game plan supposedly built to stop this offense. And this kid made every single one of them look like they were standing in frozen January mud. 23 yards, touchdown. And here is what I need you to hold on to. That play, that one play, was the first touchdown of his entire professional football career. He waited the whole year. 14 games, 29 catches. Wait, 29 on 44 targets. Yeah, 29. That is what I said. 361 yards, 0 touchdowns in the regular season. One single game with more than 6 targets all year. 3 games missed with a wrist and shoulder situation. 5 starts. And here is the number nobody is talking about enough. 4th in the entire rookie class in yards per route run. 4th behind guys who went 5th and 8th overall in the draft. When Golden touched the ball, he was producing. The problem was how rarely they let him touch it. Jordan Love himself, his own quarterback, said publicly that Golden did not get the ball enough as a rookie. His own quarterback said that. Stay right here, Pack Nation, because in part 2, I am going to tell you exactly what year 2 looks like when the runway is finally clear.
Because here is what year 2 actually looks like, Pack Nation.
Here is what it looks like when a 21-year-old receiver with a 4.29 40, a 4.29, finally gets what he has been waiting for: room to run, targets, a depth chart that says his name near the top instead of 3rd or 4th or wherever they were hiding him. 4.29. Am I saying that right? Yes, I am. That is not a football number. That is a track number. That is a number that changes what defenses have to think about every time Jordan Love takes a snap. You cannot play press coverage on a man who runs a 4.29 without gambling your career on it. You cannot soft zone him without giving him a 12-yard cushion on every route. And what happens when a defense has to respect that speed on every single down? It opens everything else up. Reed in the slot, Watson on the outside, Tucker Kraft, who was coming back healthy from last year's knee situation, Pack Nation. Tucker Kraft back in the middle of that field. This offense with Matthew Golden finally getting fed is not the same offense they ran last year. It is a different animal entirely. And look, I understand the skeptics. I do. I have seen this story before. A sprinter who runs the fastest qualifying time of the whole field, and you have already told 4 people about him before the actual event starts. And then the event comes, and he pulls up at 80 meters. Did not convert the raw speed into the full package. Happens all the time. But here is the difference with Golden. That 4.29 did not show up in a vacuum. At Texas, he led that team in receiving, first in targets, first in yards, first in touchdowns on a squad that went to the college football playoff. He transferred in from Houston and immediately took over a Power 4 program. This is not a guy whose only trick is running fast. This is a guy who runs fast and makes 5 defenders miss in the 4th quarter of a January playoff game when the whole country is watching. And he does it for his first career touchdown. I mean, come on, Pack Nation. Come on. You want to know what Gutekunst said at the scouting combine this year? He said Golden handled everything like a pro. He said when his number got called, he performed at a high level. And then he said, and I want you to hear this, his ceiling is very, very high. Very, very high. That is your general manager That is not coach speak. That is a man who has a plan and just spent an entire offseason executing it. You know what Golden himself said after that wild card touchdown? He said, "I am a dog. My confidence is one thing that will always stay with me. Whenever my opportunities come, I know I am going to make the most of it." A rookie, his first professional touchdown. The Packers just lost the game. And that is what he said to the media. "I am a dog." Pack Nation, that is not a kid who needs to be babied into production. That is a man who has been sitting in the waiting room for 12 months with his bag packed and his shoes on, Watson on the outside, Reed in the slot, Kraft coming back in the middle, and Golden lined up with room to work for the first time in his NFL career. Jordan Love is going to find him early and find them often. And when the defense starts cheating to take away that speed, are you hearing me? That is when everybody else eats too. This is our guy, Pack Nation. This is what 23 years of patience looks like paying off. This is not Romeo Doubs money walking out the door. This is runway being cleared for a breakout season that Green Bay has not seen at the receiver position in a generation. Look, I got a little loud. I am aware. I am working on it. That is a separate conversation entirely. But I am telling you, Matthew Golden, 2026, write it down. Put it somewhere you can find it in December. Because when this thing goes, you are going to want to have been the person who knew it first. Subscribe to Let Me Tell You Something on the Packernet Podcast Network. New episodes every week. The rants are always free, and this ride, Pack Nation, is just getting started. Go, Pack, go!